isn't happening rarely. It's not happening worlds away. It's happening right here and right now.
Is Blake Lively finally facing cancellation? It seems like her new movie, Another Simple Favor, might be the final nail in the coffin, but the truth runs much deeper than we ever expected.
Do you think I want to make you pay?
I don't know, do you?
Blake Lively's downfall seems to be unfolding faster than anyone expected, and it's not just about her new movie. Another Simple Favor is already shaping up to be a disaster, with the trailer getting slammed by audiences. The dislike-to-like ratio is brutal, and things got so bad that Amazon had to disable the comment section entirely, something they didn't even do during the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power controversy. But while Amazon shut down comments on the trailer, they didn't do the same on their Instagram page, where the backlash exploded. Fans flooded the comments with brutal remarks, saying they'll never watch another Blake Lively or Ryan Reynolds movie again. And here's the real kicker. This controversy goes beyond the film. The growing outrage is deeply tied to Blake's ongoing legal battle with Justin Baldwin, a case that's been making waves for all the wrong reasons. Could this be the final straw for Blake's career? Justin Baldwin's public release of texts, emails, and legal documents has completely changed the game, exposing what was really happening behind the scenes. And let's just say, people are not happy with Blake Lively. Baldwin's lawyer even launched a website packed with 168 pages of texts and emails, many involving Blake and Ryan Reynolds. The backlash has been so intense that even Megyn Kelly jumped in, dedicating 10 hours of content to calling out Blake on her alleged lies and hypocrisy. With all this evidence surfacing, it's no surprise that public opinion is turning against her fast. Could this be the moment that officially ends Blake Lively's career?
So she's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade.
So, is it really a shock that Another Simple Favor is already looking like a flop? Not really, especially when you factor in the ongoing feud between Blake Lively and her co-star, Anna Kendrick. It's no secret in Hollywood that these two can't stand each other. Fans have speculated for years that Anna freaking hates Blake's guts, and with everything else going on, their strained dynamic isn't exactly helping the movie's chances. With public backlash, a legal scandal, and behind-the-scenes drama, it's no wonder Blake's latest project is shaping up to be a disaster. Could this be the final nail in the coffin for her career?
Several years ago. So I've met Blake a few times through Ryan on that film. And, and thought she seems nice, and little did I know.
Yeah. Look at the body language experts analyzing this right now. How quickly do you,
Don't touch me.
how quickly do you know if you're gonna gel with a co-star? Is it like day one, you're like, okay, I'm in this and it's not working, or?
I feel like it's pretty rapid cognition for me.
Several years ago, Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively first crossed paths through Ryan Reynolds, and at first, Anna thought Blake seemed nice. Little did she know what was to come. Body language experts have already broken down their interactions, pointing out awkward moments, like the infamous "Don't touch me" clip, where Anna's discomfort is impossible to ignore. And if you think that's the only proof of their off-screen beef, think again. Rumors suggest their ongoing feud nearly derailed the entire sequel to A Simple Favor. Director Paul Feig was forced to step in, dismissing the claims as BS and insisting the film was always planned for a spring/summer release. But let's be real, directors always say that. No one wants their movie overshadowed by cast drama, even when it's painfully obvious. Fans have long suspected tension between Blake and Anna, and now it's practically confirmed. While promoting the first movie, their interviews were painfully awkward. Anna looked like she wanted to disappear whenever Blake spoke, and Blake constantly threw her shady looks. It was the kind of tension you could feel through the screen with all this drama. It's no surprise that Another Simple Favor is already in serious trouble.
I've muted some people now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram. You can mute people on Instagram? Yeah, I can do it for sure. Really? I know. Get excited.
Yikes, why would they put these two together again? The bad blood between Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick is allegedly boiling over during the making of Another Simple Favor. Word on the street is that Anna almost walked away from the sequel because she couldn't handle Blake anymore. The studio, not wanting to lose its lead actress, reportedly had to beg Anna to stay, and it's not just her acting career that's in freefall. Blake is losing business left and right, and things are not looking good. Let's take her brand, Betty Buzz, for example. When the non-alcoholic drink first launched, fans rushed to buy it simply because it had Blake Lively's name attached to it. In Hollywood, that kind of branding usually means success. But here's the issue: celebrity products only work if they have real staying power. People might buy something once out of curiosity, but if the product doesn't live up to the hype, they won't come back. And that's exactly what happened with Betty Buzz. It's a tough time for Blake, both professionally and personally, and her business ventures seem to be feeling the heat.
When I first started Betty Buzz, I set out to create the best tasting sparkling drink out there. Made with only real fruit, no junk, something anyone in the family can enjoy. But I had one principle. Anyone want to have a guess? No? No one?
At first, things seemed promising for Betty Buzz, Blake Lively's non-alcoholic drink brand. It was stocked in major stores, and Blake's marketing team worked hard to make it look like the next big thing. People even found it featured in stores like Whole Foods, with Alexa helping to add it to shopping carts. Blake's pitch was compelling. She promoted it as a woman-owned business aiming to dominate the market. But the excitement didn't last. Sales didn't stay as high as expected, and now stores are quietly reducing how much they stock. When brands start disappearing from shelves, it's a clear sign that things aren't going well. Unfortunately, Betty Buzz isn't the only venture that's been struggling. Blake also tried to build a lifestyle empire, similar to what Gwyneth Paltrow did with Goop. But unlike Goop, which carved out a niche, Blake's business didn't offer anything new or exciting. It was a failure from the start. As a result, investors are losing confidence, and without steady profits, the future of her business empire is looking uncertain at best and disastrous at worst. And then there's the biggest problem of all: bad press kills business deals. When a celebrity is wrapped up in controversy, brands want nothing to do with them. Companies that once lined up to work with Blake are now running away. Deals are being put on hold or canceled completely, and partnerships that seemed rock solid just months ago are now falling apart. With everything crumbling around her, Blake's empire is facing a serious downfall.
What happened to Blake Lively's hair care line, aka Blake Brown hair? Has anybody bought it or used it? I have not seen one influencer or anyone I know in real life review or use it or talk about it.
Blake's team is fully aware that this is a crisis, which is why she's scrambling to repair her image. However, in the business world, a tarnished reputation is incredibly hard to shake off. If she can't turn things around, everything she's built outside of acting, including her brand, could come crashing down. It doesn't help that Hollywood is starting to distance itself from Blake, and she knows it. For years, Blake was considered Hollywood royalty. She had a stellar reputation, landed major movie roles, and was always seen at the most exclusive events. She was the type of person the industry wanted to work with. Unfortunately, that's no longer the case.
I think that there are better people for that one. When
Justin says he's not working with Blake anymore, it's his polite way of implying that she's a menace without outright saying it. Hollywood is a tough place, and right now, it seems like the industry is slowly pushing Blake out. The signs have been there for a while. First, there were fewer big movie offers. Blake was never a box office superstar, but she used to be a reliable choice for directors looking for a charming, fashionable lead. Now those calls aren't coming as often, and the projects she is getting aren't the same caliber as before. That's a big red flag. Then there's the fact that her famous friends are starting to distance themselves. Hollywood thrives on networking, and when someone starts losing favor, people begin pulling away. Blake used to be close to some of the biggest names in the industry, like Taylor Swift. But instead of supporting Blake during this tough time, Taylor has been spending more time with Selena Gomez. Completely distancing herself from the Baldoni drama, it's a clear sign that Blake's inner circle is shrinking.
Text where Blake refers to Taylor and Ryan as her dragons did not sit well with Taylor. She said, "I never volunteered to be your dragon. I don't see you as Khaleesi." Taylor felt that was a weird comment to make about a friend. And then it's weird to call a friend a dragon.
Oopsie, looks like this dragon isn't doing much to protect her. Other celebrities are staying silent too, and that silence speaks volumes. Take Ryan's silence, for example. What kind of husband doesn't defend his wife? Perhaps Blake's biggest mistake was hiring the CIA for her PR. Yes, things had gotten so out of control that she actually hired Nick Shapiro. For those who don't know, Shapiro isn't just any PR guy, he's a former CIA Deputy Chief of Staff. That's right, the CIA. Instead of choosing a well-connected Hollywood PR expert, Blake went with someone who has a background in government intelligence. That's a bold move, and everyone, including Candace Owens, knows what it could imply.
Alright guys, I'm just preemptively letting you know that today is already insane for 1,000 reasons, but Blake Lively hiring former CIA agents to help with her PR crisis.
On paper, hiring someone like Nick Shapiro might seem like a smart move. After all, he knows how to handle crisis. But in reality, it's only making things look worse. Hollywood thrives on relationships, and a skilled PR expert doesn't just manage damage control. They use their connections to keep their client in the industry's good graces. The problem is, Shapiro doesn't have those connections. In fact, most people in Hollywood had never even heard of him before. The harsh truth is, when Hollywood smells trouble, they cut ties fast. Studios don't want to risk a movie flopping because of an actor's bad press. Directors don't want drama on set, and producers would rather invest in someone with a clean reputation. Right now, Blake's reputation is anything but clean, and her drama could seriously harm Ryan's career as well. Yes, Ryan Reynolds is one of the biggest movie stars in the world. He's charming, funny, and most importantly, bankable. When Ryan's attached to a movie, people show up. Studios love him for that. But here's the problem. Blake is messing it up for him. So far, Ryan has managed to stay mostly out of the drama, except for that one distasteful joke he made on SNL. That moment might have been small, but in a world where every move is scrutinized, it's not helping matters.
How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay in the loop with all the biggest Hollywood scandals.